Hey folks, I guess this is another vlog. I don't really have much to say. Listening to some podcasts on the way up, and one of the good ones was the latest Gaytheist Manifesto. I know I recently released an episode of the Hardcore Skeptic Examined series on social justice, and I interviewed Callie Wright, who is the host of the Gaytheist Manifesto podcast. And I know in that episode I said everybody should be listening to her show because it's friggin' amazing. This newest one, it's one of these shows that, well, I guess I should start by saying, like, I've always kind of joked about being a robot, or like being a kind of an uncaring or unfeeling person. I joke about that stuff a bit. And I mean, I care about people, and I care deeply about a lot of things. Obviously, I am passionate about a lot of stuff, but anger was always my go-to for most of my life. And then, you know, as I've aged, I've kind of eased out of the anger into, you know, kind of just ignoring the bad shit that I feel and instead focusing on the positive stuff, which is, I mean, it's good. But stuff like Callie's show, sometimes it just makes my heart grow. And I don't know, it feels like I'm warm, and it makes me feel, I guess is a way that I don't really have the words or the I don't know how to express it better than that. It makes me feel warm and caring, and yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good feeling. I think it's good to experience that. Especially when things are the way they are, and a person is often as pissed off as one is, like I am anyway. Society's fucked. The world's fucked. Often I spend my energy trying not to be pissed off so that I can be pleasant around people. And, you know, you try to maybe limit the amount that you feel empathy for everything, because if you truly feel that empathy for everybody or everything, it can be overwhelming. It can be really it can be a real almost detriment. Like, it can really slow you down and really make you unable to progress or do things. But then again, I mean, without empathy, I just don't see the point in doing so much. You know, why care about some of this stuff if you aren't caring about it in a way that is intended to help others? I don't know. But that was kind of the way I was thinking today. That's the show I was listening to last before I got to work tonight. I got up pretty early today. I've been to the gym like 3 days in a row now, which is great, considering I missed for like 21 days or some shit. I mean, I still went on the treadmill at home, but I didn't go to the gym and like do cardio and weights and try stretching and like doing a real workout. And a little bit of treadmill walking, like even if you do it every day, I mean, and I don't want to downplay it. It's necessary. It's absolutely an important thing to do. But it's not going to do what I want it to do when I would rather be lifting weights and working out at the gym. It's not the same. And I'm not satisfied with that. If I walk on the treadmill, I feel like I didn't do enough. And frankly, I don't know why it's so hard to go to the gym. I don't feel like I'm being judged. I mean, I'm not a terribly out of shape person. And so I don't feel like people are judging me. Maybe I feel like I'm judging myself. It's hard to know. I don't know. It's one of these things where, like, I get working on things in the morning on days off, and by 10 o'clock, if I haven't gone to the gym, then I'm done for the day. I'm not going to go. And that's not a good way to do things. But the last 3 days I've gone. I haven't had as much sleep during the day as I probably should have. And it's nice to know that I've gone to the gym and it feels good after, which I think most people know. I was thinking too, this is going to jump around a lot. I have no direction for this at all. I was thinking that in the past, I've been very ableist. I haven't acknowledged many of the struggles that people living with disabilities are that they deal with. I mean, even though my family history has a lot of mental illness in it, I've still always dealt with that in a way of, I've compartmentalized it in a way and sort of viewed it from an ableist lens, like I'm the healthy one in my family. And maybe I'm wondering if that's maybe not something I need to work on. Like, I have more exposure to people living with disabilities over the last while than I have in previous years. And I think that kind of exposure, that's seeing, and not to say that people exist in order to broaden my view of the world, because they exist and deserve rights and deserve respect regardless. But my seeing them has helped bring that and helped me to see that and to maybe be more thoughtful. And I wonder if there's something I can do to help expose more people to that. That isn't like, because I'm often wary of the sharing of the what do they call it? The inspiration porn or whatever, right? Like, it's like the image of the disabled person who's overcoming adversity. It's supposed to inspire people when they see it. And I don't like doing that. That feels exploitative. But I do think that there's something to be said about sharing perspectives of people living with disabilities so that people can see that and learn from it. I recently was challenged on the potential for me having an abled perspective or a ableist perspective because of some of the people that I have on my friends list. Because I do allow some toxic people in my Facebook friend list. For a variety of reasons. People I've friended in the past for one reason or another. People that I still have loyalty to these people in a variety of ways or for a number of reasons. And yeah, and I think there's something to that. I think that there's something to the idea that perhaps my loyalty to certain people has been more it's toxic to people who are suffering from various other issues. Even some sexist guys that I still am friends with that are really they are really toxic towards women, and the things that they say are really kind of shit. And I mean, I want to be able to expose these people to better perspectives, but I wonder what the cost is. Like, is it worth having them exposed to my perspective if they're also being damaging to people that I value as well, right? Like, is it a matter of competing loyalties, or is it a matter of competing toxicity versus harm? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm obviously, to some extent, I'm just bantering with this in my head and hoping for some sort of insight. Because I don't want people to feel, I don't want people to be attacked based on, their own stuff by people who are pretty privileged in a lot of ways. Like, it's almost always cis hetero dudes who are doing the toxic behavior. Almost always white cis hetero dudes. Abled white cis hetero dudes. Like, it's obviously the people with the most privilege who are often being toxic to people with less privilege than them. I don't know. It's troubling. I wish people could just be more thoughtful. I wish that somehow being friends with me would mean that people would be more thoughtful. But it seems like that's not a thing. Just being exposed to thoughtful people doesn't necessarily make one more thoughtful. And I mean, just yesterday I was talking about like how great my holidays were, and a lot of people don't have that. And I think we need to be sensitive to that. And if we're going to discuss things, maybe we shouldn't be attacking people. Particularly if we don't know their situation. Like, if somebody's, I don't know. It's a line I say a lot. I don't know. I think a lot of people are talking shit when they should be saying, I don't know. I think I appreciate the challenge. You know, like, I appreciate it when people challenge me on perhaps my privilege. It's perhaps this blind spot that I might be having. This, because it does seem like it's a blind spot. For me to let someone attack another person on my Facebook page because I have a friendship or a loyalty to them for some reason, and for one reason or another, when it could actually harm that person that's being attacked. I mean, sometimes you can just delete the thread and everybody's done. Facebook's weird, though. I mean, it's not like Twitter where everybody just knows it's shit and toxic. People kind of consider Facebook almost safer in a lot of ways, even though if you're friends with the wrong people, it can be pretty shitty. I mean, I've had a lot of people that I've blocked over the last couple of years just since I've joined, being more active in social justice issues. And you never know who's going to be shit, too. Like, there's a lot of people who are shit. it's I don't know. I don't know what to think. Being on the left used to symbolize a kind of compassion to me. Like, the reason that I became a leftist, the reason that I'm on the left of the political spectrum, is because I care about things like equality, or I care about equal treatment, or equal respect, or accommodation for people where they need it. But that's not everybody's doing that. And then you get leftists who are against Me Too. Like, how can you be against a movement that calls out predators in favor of equality for women and better treatment for women and cutting down on harassment and predatory behavior? Like, it just, how can there be leftists who are against that? That's, what the fuck? That's why part of me never understood why social justice was a political issue in the first place. How can racism be something that the left is against and the right is like okay with? They're just okay with racism. Is it because they're blind to it? Because I don't think that's it. I mentioned in the other vlog that there was that article about the dude who wore his anti-Nazi pin and people got pissed at him because he's wearing an anti-Nazi pin, and somehow being anti-Nazi is a political perspective. As though we're not all supposed to be anti-fucking genocidal assholes. Like, what the fuck kind of world is this? I don't know. This is the kind of conversation I would have with my partner. We would rant and rave about all the fucking ridiculousness of this stuff. Because it is fucking ridiculous that people don't see the hypocrisy, or that people can see social justice as a left issue. I mean, shouldn't social justice just be an issue that everybody's interested in fixing? But is that just how far society is moved? Or I don't know. It just seems really fucking weird. Like, I was trying to put on a conference in Saskatoon. I had a team of people that I was working with ultimately I was a shitty director, a shitty manager, and I kind of feel like I failed at this. But I wanted to put a social justice spin on our skepticism. And one of the aspects that came to me was that people might not want to support a social justice skeptical conference. A skeptical social justice conference? Skeptical social justice? Whatever. Might not want to support the conference because of the social justice aspect. Because people feel like it's political. When I don't think it should be. I think everybody should just be on board and stop denying the evidence as it is. How did I get here in this? Obviously, I've been talking for too long. This is 20 minutes now. I hope everybody's having a good week. I might not do another vlog tomorrow. We'll see how I feel. But I'm hoping to have the next podcast episode out soon. Hopefully for patrons tonight. What else? Hopefully for everybody else on Monday. That's my, I'm working on an interview with Dan Arrow that I did in 2017. Another fucking silly thing. When I was recording my intro and outro for my last episode with Callie Wright, I think I said that the interview was done in 2016, and it wasn't. I'll have to correct that in this episode's intro, but yeah, I did those in early 2017, and I'm just losing track of fucking time. I don't know if that's because I'm getting old, or if that's because 2018 was the longest fucking year that ever existed. I don't know. Either way, I hope you like my vlogs. If you don't, that's maybe let me know if there's something wrong with them. If I shouldn't be doing this anymore, that's cool. I appreciate feedback either way. I'm also you can always email me at mail@brainstormblog.net. I try to respond as quickly as possible. And make sure, if you do like it, hit the like button. We've been getting a lot of downvotes on some of our videos lately. Like our midterms Brazil and the far right video had like 8 downvotes for some reason. I think it's up to 9 now. I don't know how the fuck that happens. Like, did some people just happen across it in their news feed because of the words the far right or Brazil or something, and so they just thumbs it down? I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, if you could thumbs up this shit, that'd be cool. I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.